Yeehaw! Welcome back to the Southern Snack where life is too short to be serious. All right, I'm wearing pink today. I'll be trying to wear pink next week. That's the goal. So I kind of miscalculated everything. Today technically marks the end of year 3, which, I mean, that's still something to celebrate, right? We're celebrating the end of another chapter. So end of year 3 for reviews. So this closes that book. Next week opens the chapter of year 4, and it's technically my 3-year anniversary, right? So it's an anniversary. So it's just like thinking you were born when you turn 1 year old. Now you're starting your journey for the 2nd year. So, you know, when you're 50, when you've got that 52nd week that you still got to go through, right? You're still not 1 yet. You got to be 53 weeks. So I miscalculated that. But here we are getting ready for year 4 coming up next week and our 3-year anniversary. So I'm excited. I'm, you know, hyped up. Reason why you see my car is because I'm trying to do the best with these thumbnails that I can. I know a lot of y'all would recommend taking the hat off, and that's a fine recommendation, but I'm not doing that. I'm trying to wear the Yee hat some more too. Thank you to Yee Apparel. Getting so sidetracked. We need to get to the review. But yeah, next week, 3 years, and my 4th year begins. So, and if you want to celebrate now, that's completely fine. By technicality, even next week will not have marked like 3 calendar years. It will be, and even the next week will be a couple days short. It's weird how weeks stack up, but you know, our calendar doesn't really add up well enough for the days to really align. So it's like May 29th. And again, that was a Friday because we didn't have Crumbl in the area, so I had to do it on a Friday. So, you know, and I had to do the research for that. I don't memorize dates like that. But aside from the point, we're excited. And that kind of made me forget the sour note of this morning. If you live in Virginia and you can avoid the Hickory location, I called them this morning. They were out of pistachio. I said, when are y'all going to have this cookie? They said not till later this week. That is not good for branding. This is a company that runs week to weeks on flavors, right? So you're waking up Monday and you're probably going at some point on Monday. You don't want to have to wait throughout the week and maybe not even get a chance at a cookie, right? You know, this isn't like a fast food place that's doing a 2-month promo and you can let them slide because they're a little bit late. No, they're on a very tight schedule. So Hickory location, I don't know what's up. We're gonna report you. You know, we're working on the steps to try and figure out why you can't. I mean, I'm 20 miles down the night. I'm like 10 miles down the road now eating this pistachio cookie. So there really is no excuse for it. We got to hold Crumbl to a high standard. They hold themselves to a high standard. We as customers have to hold them to a high standard. So not to be like super upset with them, but like we got to be for real, people. And that's my first impression of them, right? Because I was going from beach to work, where I stay at the beach, to work, and you know, they were on the way. And this place is still kind of on the way. We're at Greenbrier. But yeah, it just left a kind of a sour taste in my mouth. Hopefully the pistachio cookie, featuring Muddy Bites, by the way, doesn't leave a sour taste in my mouth. So yeah, Muddy Bites was hyping up this big collab with Crumbl, and it was like, okay, what are you doing, a Crumbl flavor? No, they're just doing a pistachio cookie, pistachio gelato, with a Muddy Bite on it. So yeah, a little bit overhyped, a little bit excessive on Muddy Bites, and I'm just trying to find a way to cut this. Okay, I got my little handy dandy knife. Let's see. See, I don't like the way I'm positioned in my car. I just don't have many places to set things. And cut off. I just cut the AM radio on. I don't know if you heard that, but hopefully that doesn't mess up anything for copywriting reasons. And I'm sorry, it's a struggle this morning. We're still trying to wake up, I guess. All right, took 5 minutes to get into the review. I'm so sorry. But honestly, you guys, if you don't like my long form videos, I do a very short version. Not to turn you away from this, but I do a shorter version. So we're not going to eat the cone. We know what the Muddy Bite cone's got to it. So there's the gelato. Okay, the base is a bit thick, but I like what we've got here, right? It's definitely more flavorful than the pistachio pie. I saw someone say they prefer the pistachio pie, but I just think there's too much chocolate for that to kind of combat with, where this one actually lets the pistachio flavor stand out a little bit better. And it's on point. The base is just kind of thick, and so it does take a little away, but it's a nice buttery base. Little dry, a little bland, but overall I like this. It's definitely like a defined flavor profile. So if you're not that type of person that likes pistachio, it might not be for you. But I'm gonna give it 8.5. I like it. All right, French toast. And again, they are repetitive flavors again this week. At least it's a nice dynamic. But again, I sentiment with the people, the Crumbl followers that are bringing out the list of flavors that haven't been here in over a year. I connect with that because, again, as I said, this is the end of year 3, so I've seen as many flavors as anybody, and I can relate. So we're doing French toast. I love French toast. They do a great job. This has never really technically been a cookie, but they sell it as a cookie. They treat us well and not overcharging it. But here we go. We don't even have to entertain the thought on this cookie. It's fluffy, a little touch of cinnamon, a little touch of syrup, that buttercream. 10 out of 10. I mean, there's just never a doubt in my mind. All right, we're gonna go on to wedding cake. I'm a avid hater on this one. It's okay, but and I like how pretty this one is. I think maybe this is the first time they've got this right on the color. Very pretty, but my issue is cream cheese. I just think if you're going to do a raspberry cake flavored cookie, the cream cheese it is just too much, right? I want like buttercream. You could even do like a whipped icing. A whipped icing probably would be the best because it's the least sweet, and it would just be so interesting. But I guess raspberry wedding cakes have cream cheese. I don't know, but to me, nah. So here we go. Okay. I'm impressed. I swear, sometimes when I talk about these cookies and how bad the cream cheese situation is, sometimes the Crumbl location will step up and have a little bit more flavor in the cookie than just like a lot of cream cheese. And that's what we got here. Very good. You still get the cream cheese, but very good buttery base. Raspberry is definitely really heavy in this one. I like that. I like that a lot. Would I prefer it like if they had like a whipped cream icing? Absolutely. But I like what we're working with, and it's got me second thoughts. Got me on second thoughts. The way that cookie was, the way it was presented, I'm gonna put it at 8.5 with pistachio. The reason for that, I just think it is a little bit more laid back. The base is not like a heavy, really indulgent flavor. It's all about that icing, and they did a very solid job. So I'll give it 8.5. Very enjoyable. Now this one, as with any Oreo base, could be burnt, could not be burnt. We don't ever know till we try it. When it's done right, it's really good. This is peanut butter cookies and cream. I wish they were doing the Oreo peanut butter one, because again, with repetitiveness, we've seen this one a couple times, at least a couple times since we last saw peanut butter Oreo. The big difference between the two is you got this peanut butter frosting. And I know it probably has cream cheese, but it's still really good frosting, and adds a lot more peanut butter to it. So, you know, while I sit here and it's like, okay, I don't mind this flavor, it's good. Then I contemplate, well, what could have been? What could have been here? And you know. So, nice gooey peanut butter chips though, so let's go. It's good. It's very good. Not as good as peanut butter Oreo, but it's got a good Oreo base, some good peanut butter chips, a little bit laid back. I mean, I've given this some higher ratings in the past. For me, I think where it fits is like, it's 7.5. It's really good, but it's kind of basic. So really it's up to you if you want it. But if you like peanut butter and Oreos and you want like a gooey cookie of that, then yeah, there you go. All right, so sea salt toffee, this will probably be the lowest rated one. It's just nothing to this. It's chocolate, it's milk chocolate chips, some caramel toffee pieces, and it's, you know, it's kind of like their milk chocolate chip cookie, but with some toffee. You know, I'm never really impressed with this one. So let's give this a go and we'll wrap it up. And there's some sea salt too. Yeah, it's kind of like their attempt on like a salted caramel cookie with some chocolate chips. And it's not bad. It's very solid, really. The flavors are good. A little too much salt in this one, though. And of course, the milk chocolate doesn't add too much to it. I'm going to give it a 6 today. Typically, I think I've given it like a 7. But now that, you know, I've kind of been enriched by the semi-sweet chocolate chips, I think that would be a better combination with that caramel. And I think even just like adding like some caramel on top instead of just doing flat out toffee would really enrich in this a lot, especially with how salty that was. So yeah, I mean, that is the review. I know half of this was really just me talking, but again, that's kind of what keeps me motivated, is just having conversation and opening the floor. Even if it's controversial, even if it makes some of y'all mad, you know, it's entertaining to see how y'all react. So anyways, that is the review. I'm sticking to it, and I'll see you next week, because we're going big and we're celebrating 3 years and our start to year 4.